The UK terror threat level has just been raised from substantial to severe, meaning an attack is highly likely in the next 6 months. It comes after 2 Jewish men were stabbed in Golders Green in North London yesterday. Today, the Prime Minister visited the scene. He was heckled and booed as members of the Jewish community accused the government of doing too little to protect them. The suspect being held by police has been named as 45-year-old Essa Suleiman from southeast London, who was born in Somalia but came to the UK as a child in the 1990s. Our special correspondent Lucy Manning reports.
The suspected attacker, tackled by police yesterday, is 45-year-old Essa Suleiman. Police screamed at him to drop the knife and tasered him. Born in Somalia, he came to the UK legally as a child. He was referred to the government's counter-terrorism prevent programme 6 years ago.
Knife! Drop the knife!
After stabbing 2 Jewish men, he was arrested by police and community security guards. Isaac, in the blue shirt, was one of those, standing on his leg, and he told the BBC how he'd chased him down.
I screamed, get down, get down, get down, drop the knife. It was literally, if eyes could kill, I'd be dead. I wanted to make sure he couldn't try and wriggle away. I was holding onto his ankle, making sure that he couldn't move his leg, his left leg. Yes. I felt amazing for saving the community. I saved lives, 100%.
76-year-old Moshe Shine was stabbed and is stable. 34-year-old Shloime Rand had just left synagogue when he was stabbed. He spoke to us from his hospital bed.
I've had a stab to my chest, and yes, my lungs have to recover. It's a very big miracle happened to me. You know, I feel like God's given me back my life.
What's your message to the government, given what's happened to you?
My message is that statements coming out from Downing Street that they will not tolerate any anti-Semitism is not enough. The tone they talk about what's going on has to be changed.
The Prime Minister came to meet the local Jewish community, but arrived to a mixed reception, some protesters jeering and booing outside.
This is my area, this is my street, I am British. What the actual heck is going on that I don't know if it's safe here.
I'm not necessarily protesting against the Prime Minister. I just want to live in a safe environment and feel that Jews can be safe here, and he hasn't done that.
As the Prime Minister is behind the gates looking at the Hatzalah ambulances, the protesters are out here pretty furious, but even outside of this group of protesters, there is a much wider feeling in the Jewish community that British Jews have been left unprotected for too long.
He met with the Hatzalah team whose ambulances were burnt in an arson attack last month, and first responders, including Isaac. He's promised to introduce new measures to tackle anti-Semitism, including more visible policing, cracking down on hate preachers, speeding up sentencing for anti-Semitic attacks, and introducing new laws to tackle the threat from foreign states like Iran.
This government will do everything in our power to stamp this hatred out. We will strengthen our security and protect our Jewish community. But I also call on everyone decent in this country to open their eyes to Jewish pain, Jewish suffering, and Jewish fear.
But his independent advisor of terrorism legislation says anti-Semitism is the biggest national security emergency since COVID. And after a series of attacks on the Jewish community, no one here is prepared to wait any longer for action. Lucy Manning, BBC News.
Our Home Affairs correspondent Daniel Sanford is with me. So the terror threat, the UK terror threat, has gone from substantial to severe. What does that mean?
Well, substantial, where it's been since 2022, means that a terrorist attack is assessed as being likely. But severe, where it hasn't been since the aftermath of David Amess, the MP, being murdered in his constituency meeting, it means that a terrorist attack is considered highly likely within the next 6 months. So it's obviously a very significant moment. This is a threat level that is set by a set of security experts within the civil service, the Joint Terrorism Analysis Centre. And when this threat level was increased just in the last few minutes, it was made clear that, yes, it was triggered by this attack yesterday in Golders Green, but not only because of that, but also because of an increase in the broader Islamist and extreme right-wing terror threat from individuals and from groups in the UK. And they also said that while this reflects the terrorist threat in the UK, it comes against a backdrop of increased state-linked physical threats, which is encouraging acts of violence. So it's linked also to states like Iran.
Daniel Sanford, thank you. Well, Jewish leaders have called on the government to act more urgently on anti-Semitism following yesterday's attack. Fear and frustration across the UK's Jewish communities was already heightened, and security around Jewish premises was already tightened after the deadly attack on Heaton Park Synagogue in Manchester last year and the recent spate of arson attacks in North London. Judith Moritz reports from Manchester.
Richard Manville is a Mancunian, born and bred. He's lived here all his life, not for much longer. He's packing up the last bits, and the furniture has all been removed.
It's quite a traumatic experience because we've lived here 33, 34 years. I never thought I was going to be leaving here.
Richard's house has been sold, and on Monday he and his wife are moving to Israel, leaving Britain because they say the anti-Semitism here is intolerable.
I don't feel safe walking down the street. I have to look over my shoulder. I'm constantly aware when I drive my car and I'm looking in the wing mirrors. I can't live in this. It's almost a toxic atmosphere. And when is it going to stop? It's in England, it's in Manchester, it's in Salford, and it's round the corner to me.
Richard lives down the road from Heaton Park Synagogue and has friends who were affected by the attack there. Security in this area has been heightened. It's not unusual to see patrols out and about, organised by the Jewish charity, the Community Security Trust. The Jewish community is well used to tight security. Its synagogues are behind high walls, its schools are patrolled by security guards. And there are many here who'll say they're grateful for that protection. But in the same breath, they'll also tell you that it's not the full answer, that anti-Semitism has to be rooted out at the source. And that's the responsibility of everyone in society. Community representatives say the recent attacks have given that extra urgency.
Anti-Semitism has been left unchecked across all sections of society, from schools, universities, workplaces, and even in the NHS, where people go there most vulnerable. Words are insufficient. We need strong and decisive action, delivering tangible results from government to look at reassuring our community, in fact reassuring us that we have a future here in the UK.
But Richard's mind is made up, and it's been reinforced by hundreds of abusive messages he received online after speaking publicly about his decision to leave.
Some of them were absolutely disgusting and disgraceful and appalling. Typically saying, bye-bye, off you go. Go over to Israel.
Most Jews say they have no intention of going anywhere. But Richard isn't alone either. A recent survey suggests that 1 in 5 British Jews are thinking about leaving for Israel in the next 5 years. Judith Moritz, BBC News, Manchester.